Phishing scams are always tricky. We hear about them all the time. They continue to be a problem. They're not getting better. They're getting worse. In fact, they're getting quite a bit worse. Let's hear it from Peter. Today's Not So Critical update.
This is TrickBot. It's a common phishing thing, network, group, whatever. And this is an article, again, from Bleeping Computer, our sponsor. Hi, Bleeping Computer. They're not really our sponsor. Please be our sponsor. Yeah. Anyway, they are talking about TrickBot, which is a new technique to evade researchers, which is whenever it sees a common screen resolution, it behaves like a normal site. And when it sees a different screen resolution, then it will show you the phishing content. And the reason that this is an evasion tactic is because a lot of the phishing detection stuff out there scans websites, and they all use the same kind of screen resolution, and it's pretty predictable. So what they can do is when TrickBot thinks it's being scanned, it tries to hide itself. That's what it comes down to in a nutshell. It's not really new technology. It's not really new tricks. There's all sorts of things they do. Like there's some malware which checks to see if it's running in a virtual environment. There's other things you can do to see whether it's an automated process which you're looking at or not, or if it's an actual human. But it's still another interesting technique to see coming up. What do you think?
I do think we know where Peter gets a lot of his articles. However, I don't know if Bleeping Computer...
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I trashed them pretty hard on that Tesla story last week, so maybe...
Same. I was just thinking about that. Yeah. No hard feelings, whoever owns a Tesla can get into their car that day.
We were only joshing.
We're fine with it. We can move on.
We still talked about it, though. We still talked about a Bleeping Computer story. It doesn't matter how...
And we invited them back again this week. Are we not generous?
Yeah, exactly. You're welcome.
Merciful.
Yeah. So, you know what's interesting because it's kind of like the first thing I do when I'm investigating a link or a suspect program or whatever is spin up a VM. So this is kind of fun that they're getting trickier with it. I think that's the third or fourth time we're using tricky as a word.
TrickBot and bodier.
They're getting very body. B-O-T-Y, that is, okay? Or B-O-T-T-I-E, however you want to interpret it. But I just find it... I
want to interpret it. I'm going to TrickBot right here, buddy.
I find it very interesting that they are looking for default renderers, like what they mentioned in the article, like Swift Shader, LLVM pipe, or VirtualBox. Yeah, well, because you mentioned, as you said, like previously the malware checked for non-standard screen resolutions, like 800 by 600 or 1024 by 768. But I usually set my VM. This is kind of like a hack around to detecting VMs. I feel like there's probably some more involved things you can do to check, but my VM's resolutions are usually fairly high. They're not at 800 by 600 or whatever. So
yeah, but it's not trying to evade. I actually don't think it's really researchers that it's trying to evade. I think it's automated scanning.
Yeah, the filter.
Interesting.
Yeah, not manual research that they're trying to evade. It's automated research. Because I mean,
I mean, phishing works all the time. There's not even a super high need to be tricky about it.
Right.
So I'm going to throw myself under the bus a little bit here. One of the organizations I volunteer with had like a terrible compromised email problem this week. Phishing, somebody's mail was compromised, got sent out to everybody. I'm the most technical person on the board, so they're like, "What do we do with that?" I said, "Well, there's things to look for. Don't open did it come from the person you expect? Are you expecting an attachment from them?" Is it a conversation you're already having? Things to look for. And they're like, well, what do you do? Or what kind of antivirus do you use? And I said, I am super careful with my emails. I've never been compromised. I don't worry about it. Today,
Oh,
I shouldn't even admit to this. I got an email.
please.
I got
Yes,
an
go
email
on.
that's it was it was about a Zoom class action suit for people who were paying for Zoom at the beginning of the pandemic. They had their whole privacy thing or this like security stuff. So there's a class action suit. And the email explained the whole suit. Here's your number. Click this link to go file your claim electronically. Me, in half a second, clicking the link, entering my personal information. and then like halfway through, I'm like, oh wait, what am I doing?
Excellent. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that happened.
Before we go,
I jumped in with both feet.
No.
Let me ask you this, Mike.
I want to bash
this is a very important. This is actually a very important question. How far did you go? Was it just like first name, last name?
Well, so first name, last name. To get to it, it asked for the ID number. So I entered the ID number from the email.
Okay.
Identified myself right off the bat.
Okay.
First name, last name. And then I think it was because it didn't actually end up asking for like billing information or social security number. But after I entered first name, last name, email address is when I was starting to think like, wait a minute, who am I giving this information to?
Right.
But I was like knee deep in it by then. And caught myself and was like, oh my God, what am I doing? No hesitation.
We've all been subject to phishing. Besides me, obviously, because
don't give
I'm
him any leeway here. No, he is constantly going on about the fact that nobody should assume that any information you submit is safe in any way whatsoever. And he was just about to send it to someone and then stopped himself.
Well,
so, I'm sorry.
I still did.
Yeah, that's true.
But hey, I decided it was worth the possibility. Well, sorry, Peter.
As a highly skilled individual industry professional, you still got.
I need more education. That's the problem.
You got.
I don't understand the risks.
Get it? Phishing.
I just decided that the potential opportunity to get $25 was worth the information I was giving up to anybody. I don't even care who.
Wow, just like that.
You tell me I might get $25 6 months from now? Here you go.
No doubt. Maybe. Possibly. Probably not.
Exactly.
Far-fetched lawsuit. Hand it over.
I am in.
Yeah, that is an interesting. I remember when I was working as an IT consultant. I think I've actually talked about this. A poor user. She was very sweet, older, not computer literate at all, and she got phished. Unfortunately, she went as far. We had done a whole like 2FA training. And she almost gleefully handed over her username and password and 2FA code. And the level, the speed that these guys work was very impressive. They set up, we were running Office 365. It's kind of crazy. Office 365 didn't catch this suspicious IP but it's fine. Can't blame Microsoft. Instant email, or first it was create a rule that all emails going out to accounting at domain.com and coming in from accounting at domain.com are to be deleted permanently. And then an email was sent saying, I need to change my banking information from this user. And accounting was like, okay, send me or not even like that. It was like, I need to change my banking information. I went to a new bank. Here's my account number and routing number. And accounting was like, yeah, no problem. And I didn't know for a couple of days. This was totally, completely went under which is also obviously an error on IT. Until she was like, hey, I didn't get paid.
Yeah.
Where's my paycheck? And then accounting was like, you emailed us. And she was like, no, I didn't. And then they came to me.
I had my IT company. I used to send email training. I used to do video training. I would talk to people when I was on site. I had a client call me, smart person, said, Hey, I just got a call from Microsoft. They walked me through some stuff on my computer, and I installed this software. But I'm
Oh,
kind of thinking now that that might have been a mistake. I was like, yeah, that was a mistake. Why
Here's the
did you do
thing.
that?
It doesn't. And I know I said I wanted to have a go at Mike, and I was enjoying that. I did enjoy that, but
I can
it's
take it.
true. If all it just takes is one off day, you know,
Yeah.
exactly.
it's a constant stream of this shit, and I think I mentioned the other day that it's almost happened to me. I did catch myself before I entered any details. Better than Mike. That makes me the winner. But I was
Slightly
expecting slightly a delivery from DHL, and I think I just ordered like 3 things from Amazon or something, and one of them had been dispatched, and then I got through a DHL scam email, and because I checked my email in a weird, webmail browser thing with like CSS turned off, the emails look a bit dodgy anyway, and because I'm constantly looking at emails from fucking PayPal, which honestly looks so much like they're real fishes and genuinely require effort to go through the headers to verify that they're not fake.
Yeah.
I've kind of become cynical about. I just don't know. Is it a legit email from Amazon or DHL?
Maybe.
And
Right.
yeah,
And we talked about that
like,
with the FBI thing last week, that it looked like it was coming legitimate email from the correct server. You would never know.
Yeah,
So Peter,
because it was.
you spent a lot of time investigating phishing scams.
Yeah.
So we should add to the agenda for next week a session for you to tell us all how not to get phished.
Oh mate, I wish
and
I
make it
could,
interesting.
but God, that's double hard. I got some interesting stories about how malware access work and phishing access work. That I can talk
We'll
about.
take it.
But yeah,
We'll do that next week.
All right, man.
All right. Thanks, guys.